Hey everybody, I just wanted to give a quick recap on the changes that I made to the bundle. Not a whole lot, but hopefully some changes for the better. So I've added a begin here screen that just has a quick few notes about getting started. I will put a YouTube link here for a official intro video. Just a couple other notes. Do not type any $signs into any cells because it will automatically put it in for you. Some information on printing if you want to print to save into a binder or a file. I'm talking about unlocking the sheet with formulas, and then also talking about the debt payoff tracker, how it might not calculate the total interest exactly like a credit card statement, just due to some different numbers and everything that's on the statements that I have no control over. They're all different, so it's basically an estimator that will help give you a close total imbalance. On the budget overview, I did fix what we talked about. One of the sums was not calculating correctly, so I have fixed that. I've added more lines into your digital and cash envelopes and your savings and sinking funds as well. I've also added 2 columns into your savings and sinking funds on this, as well as on all of your paycheck trackers as well. What that does, basically, it allows you to put in a category over here. So let's say a sinking fund, and then you can actually type in here what the sinking fund is. For example, Christmas, and that way you can have multiple sinking funds with different categories. But since those are all going to change for everybody, I didn't want to put them into the master list, so this just allows you to type that in. So I hope that it explains that. Same thing on all your paycheck trackers. That is the same thing, as well as your extra debt. So if you have, for example, a debt payment and you get to make 2 of those in 1 month, which would be awesome, so you can put it towards your Discover card and towards a student loan, for example. You would just type that in. But this is the category that auto populates it over here into your monthly review. As well, on your paycheck trackers, I have added a starting bank account balance. I like to keep track of my bank account balance and make sure that this entire paycheck tracker balances to my bank account. So what you can do here is, let's say when you get paid for your main paycheck, so let's say your paycheck tracker or your paycheck is $2,000 even. So the balance that your bank account was at the transaction before this amount got deposited. So let's just say it was $1,500 before that was deposited. And then down here, it auto calculates your bank account balance after it subtracts everything into your 4 categories here, after it calculates your bills, your envelopes, your sinking funds, and your extra debt. And it only calculates it from your actual lines, not from the budget lines. So if you're filling out your actual as things, start pending or clear your bank account, then it will automatically, this should balance to what your online checking account says that it is. Anyways, hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about that, let me know. But on each paycheck tracker, you'll have to automatically populate this number in. So in paycheck tracker 2, so whatever your balance was, down here, you'll automatically, you'll have to type that in up here. It will not automatically populate that for you. I did that to make sure that numbers don't get off. So same thing in paycheck 3, paycheck 4, you do all of that the same. Your monthly review, I don't really think anything changed. Oh, I did add this extra debt down here because you do have extra debt categories as well, and I did add a couple more lines on your envelopes and your sinking funds. I added a cash envelope breakdown sheet. This allows you to automatically calculate how much cash you need at each paycheck for your cash envelopes if you do use cash envelopes. So your envelopes will automatically populate from your paycheck trackers. So for example, paycheck tracker 1, let's say you have a dining out and you are going to put in $200 a month for that. It automatically will bring it over here to your $200. And then you can break that down however you want into these lines. If you have one dining out envelope and you want $200, then you can just put the 2 right there. If you want to break it down, it's really however you want to do it. So for example, my husband and I, we give ourselves a $45 allowance every week, and that includes our dining out and our entertainment money. So we break that down into 2 20s and 1 5 for each of them. But we have 2, so we would make it 2 5s and 4 20s. Anyways, it just calculates it down here. That brings up your total value. These numbers should match, obviously. I just put that in. So that doesn't match right now, but these arrows should match. And then what you can do after you fill out your envelopes on your paycheck trackers, like I said, it automatically populates it over here. You fill out how you want your cash broken down. And then back on the very end of the sheets, you have a teller card. You can print out this whole sheet and cut out one of these little cards. That is one card that I just highlighted. And you fill that in from these numbers here. And you can hand that little card to your teller, and it helps them figure out exactly what bills you need. So I hope that makes sense. Like I said, there are 4 of these. There's one for each paycheck that will automatically populate it from your trackers. And then you have to fill in your breakdown of however you want to do it. Alright, the calendar is the same. The payoff tracker, I did edit the formulas a little bit, but nothing that y'all need to worry about. Hopefully it does give it a really close approximate balance. I'm hoping it's within like $10 or so. And that would be for the higher balance cards. That's going to be a little bit more off, obviously. Debt snowball, I added this sheet. So basically what you do here is put in all of your debts. So I have each of my credit cards in here with their interest rates, the starting balance, your current balance. This will obviously change every month. Totally depends on you on when you want to change that. I like to just do mine at the first of the month. And then as you pay them off, you put in your payoff date. Then down here, you have a chart that starts this month, and you put in your total debt right there. I don't have this automatically populate because there's really no way of, figuring out what the difference is every month. So it's just something you'll have to manually add up if you want and put in your numbers here, and then it will automatically graph it for you. So let's say you have $5,000 this month, then you knock it down to $4,000. It automatically changes or automatically graphs it for you. So hopefully at the end of your debt payoff, you'll be able to see a nice visual graph. Yearly savings plan did not change. I don't think the tracker changed. Neither did that. So I've added in the weekly meal planner as well. This is something that you can either type out or print out and fill in, whatever you would like to do. It just has squares for your breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner. I highly recommend doing this. It has saved my family a lot of money, making sure that I meal plan for every week. I sit down Friday evenings and do this, and I'm not a stickler for making sure that, that's Sunday dinner, we're having that Sunday night. No, if I don't feel like having that night, then I'll choose one of the others, but at least gives me a list of options for that entire week. And then once you meal plan for the week, you have a grocery list. So you can go through and write out everything, and then you can take this to the grocery store with you, or what I do is use my online Walmart grocery pickup and just type everything in from here, and then I can go and pick up my groceries on Saturdays or Sundays. So anyways, that saved me a lot of money from impulse buying as well. So that is it. I believe that is all the changes. Making sure, looking at my list here. On the monthly review, I did forget a note on that. So let's say, for example, you have, if you have a dining out charge up here on your bills that came out of your main checking account for whatever reason, you will, and then as well as you have your dining and cash envelope down here, you have to put them in both categories. You can't just put them into one, because these bills come from this section. The digital and cash envelopes come from this section. Savings and sinking funds come from this section, and your extra debt comes from this section. So you have to put them in each separate category if you have them listed on 2 categories over here. I hope that makes sense. Alright, well, like I said, if y'all have any other questions, let me know. Other than that, I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thanks, guys.